Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, good evening and welcome everyone to the April 2nd meeting of the Ashland City Council. To all our viewers, thank you for joining us. To our members of council, Mayor Miller, Attorney Wolf, welcome. Welcome all. First item of business on the agenda this evening will be the approval of the minutes from the March 19th meeting. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections to those minutes, I'll ask for a motion to approve as submitted.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Minutes will stand approved. First ordinance this evening will be an ordinance amending ordinance number 95-23 by adding certain positions of the employment to section 1, subsection I, positions and compensation.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
This is simply a housekeeping item. If you'll notice on the ordinance that was referenced in the reading that you just gave or just shared, it lists the positions for the unclassified staff for finance, for the mayor's office, for engineer, the parks, water treatment, information technology, but somehow over the years, it has never included the law director's office. So what you see before you tonight is simply the language that will need to be inserted in that ordinance to make it accurate. We have had these positions in the law director's office for years. These are the levels of the wages that are offered, but they've just never been included in that ordinance. So nothing's changing in the operation or cost of city government. It is simply, now that language will officially be in that ordinance of unclassified positions.
So these are not new positions?
They are not new positions. They're currently filled positions and have been,
All right.
so.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Ordinance 14-24.
Next, we have an ordinance authorizing the issuing of a then and now certificate for the following attached expenditures for the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full. Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Our city finance director is not here tonight, but I believe we usually have this come before us just about every council meeting. So I'll just give you a moment to take a look at it. These are bills that have already been paid, but were paid before a purchase order was in place. So nothing extraordinary. Looks like one was for different inspection of some of our vehicles at Donley, and it looks like the total of that one was about $1,957. We had some, looks like an inspection of one of our vehicles at the fire department for $3,000. And I guess there's only one then and now, but that's what makes up that then and now that's before you. $3,075 to Donley Ford, or Donley Auto Group.
Council have any questions or concerns?
So I guess I was clarifying that because to me it looked like there were two. So if you do 3,000 plus 19, that is not 3,000. So
I have a feeling that what that is,
Is
and
it-
I didn't go
because
over
it-
it with Larry, but
because the second one doesn't show that 19 at all as part of that. That 3,075.49 doesn't show 19.
and it does look
57.
like it's a separate one.
It's, if you add up A, B, C, and D, they add up to 3,075. And then D, E, F, and G all are referring to work done in other line items.
Okay.
So if you add A, B, C, and D together, those are 4 different repairs.
Oh, I do see, he is right,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Oh, I see it now.
The math
Same,
works.
yes.
Okay.
Very good, no, good
Thank you
question.
for asking, yeah.
Thank you for the
You're welcome.
clarification.
Yes, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
And again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. Motion to approve the ordinance?
So move. Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Ordinance 15-24.
Next ordinance will be an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor, director of public service, to enter into a contract with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the portion of resurfacing urban pavement project PID 107491, lying within the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Back in late 2023, the council, of course, voted to cooperate with the Ohio Department of Transportation on the resurfacing of 96 within the city limits, which is otherwise known as Sandusky Street, and the street resurfacing of sections of US 42, the bypass around the southeast side of our city. And now it's time to enter into contract with ODOT, promising that we will pay our share. Our share of the total cost of that project is 20%. And we believe that that's going to be at or near $744,000. So $744,536. Of course, as you know, we do have a street resurfacing fund, and that's where most of the money will come out of. And if need be, we could take some out of our American Rescue Plan monies, because we do have some of that money still left unspent, and it has to be spent by the end of this year, because the program deadline is in the end of 2024. If we should have any ancillary costs that come about, such as concrete aprons maybe where sidewalk intersects with the street or so on, or curb work and all of that type of thing, then we would be responsible for those costs, but right now, we're not anticipating that. We're not anticipating replacing sidewalks along Sandusky or anything else. This is simply new pavement on Sandusky Street and US 42.
Will this have any impact on the number of streets we'll be able to do this year?
Certainly it will, because that is a chunk of our street resurfacing budget, so we won't be doing 65-plus streets like we did last year, but we will be doing additional streets. And in fact, I realize that these are not major thoroughfares, but for all the homes and businesses that exist on them, they'll be thrilled. We have 16 alleys that have been milled now, and Sarvers should soon, when the weather cooperates, come through and resurface those. And if you recall in previous presentations of mine, I've shared that it has been decades since the city has invested in any of these alleys. Yet these alleys are heavily traveled in some instances and serve as the entrances and exits to businesses and homes. We also are expecting, I hesitate to say this because things can change, but we are expecting to do a handful of streets over in the 5th Street, Marlowe Avenue area of our city. Some of those streets are in very poor condition. The reason they've been allowed to get in poor condition over these last couple of years is because we were applying for specific grants to make a variety of repairs in those neighborhoods. We were unsuccessful getting those grants, so we're just going to go ahead and move forward with the street repairs, and if we can access the grant funds in the future and make additional repairs to other infrastructure, whether that be sidewalks and curbs and underground utilities, we'll do it, but we just can't leave those streets continue to be in the shape they're in. So there will be more streets, we just don't know the exact number, and it will be dependent on how much money we have available. I will add to that, though, Claremont Avenue will also see additional work done from Smith Road to the intersection of King College
Ooh,
and
nice.
down by the Student Center. So that section we've already contracted with last year, and that'll be happening. So you'll still see streets resurfaced around town, but not to the extent that you did in 2023.
Good.
So good question.
It actually looks like this is about $100,000 less than what we thought it was
We're
gonna be
hoping.
last year.
We're hoping, yes. Yes,
They had 840 plus 67. so-
absolutely.
Stay tuned.
But you will notice that the language in that
Yeah.
does say,
Estimate.
yes, that there could be a change, but
For
yes.
sure.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Ordinance 16-24.
And anyone who's wondering, that work is expected to begin in July.
Very good. Thank you, Mayor. Next, we have an ordinance terminating the enterprise zone agreement for REM LLC and Ohio Electric Control.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Every time the city enters into a tax incentive agreement with an area company, usually because they're either renovating a facility, adding on to a facility, or building a new facility, that is monitored each year by the Tax Incentive Review Council. They meet usually in the month of March. We just had our meeting, and the people that are included in that meeting are myself and the finance director representing the city, a county commissioner representing the county, the county auditor, and the county treasurer, and then whatever school district treasurer and superintendent, wherever the projects might exist. So, we just had our meeting, and we have 2 companies that the Tax Incentive Review Council voted to cancel or terminate their tax incentive. And the reason is because they both have left our area. The first one would be, actually, I guess we're gonna start with Ohio Electric Control. This one, actually, this is not a sad story. The company actually expanded, added employees, and recently was merged with S.J. Rhombus. So those employees are now working in the S.J. Rhombus facility, so that means they vacated the facility that the tax incentive applied to. So they no longer qualify, REM, the property holder, no longer qualifies for the tax incentive. So that's the first one, and since I'm talking about it, why don't I go into the next one?
Certainly.
The next one on the ordinance, or on your agenda, is one dealing with Hillsdale Development. And Hillsdale Development owns the real estate where National Latex was operating out of over on 4th Street. So Pioneer National Latex, of course, we know that at the end of 2023, they wrapped up their business here in our community. So because that tax incentive was based on their job numbers and so on at that location, and they're no longer there, the Tax Incentive Review Council voted to terminate theirs as well. So now we're asking for you to do the same.
Seems reasonable.
Yep.
Any discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Ordinance 17-24.
And next, we have the ordinance E, which is an ordinance terminating the enterprise zone agreement for Hillsdale Development LLC.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Motion to approve on the first reading?
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Oh.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Ordinance 18-24.
I suppose the possibility does exist for those type of terminations in the event that a company does not perform according to the agreed-upon tax incentive.
Their
Would that be
terms,
correct?
yes.
And so But that is not the case here.
No, exactly.
So, just wanted to clarify that. Next, we have an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of equipment for the Division of Fire of the City of Ashland, Ohio, obviating formal advertising and bidding, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
All right, prior to the onset of the COVID pandemic, our fire department was on an 8-year replacement schedule for their 4 medic units. We have 4 medics, 2 are vans and 2 have, this is not a technical description, but a pickup truck
Truck chassis. Yeah.
chassis instead of a van chassis. We have one of these out at Station 2, the others are at Station 3. They were on an 8-year replacement cycle, but Station
Station
1,
one.
Central Station. Did I
Yep.
say 3?
You did.
Oh my, not yet.
Nice. I'm sure
No,
the
that
fire
would be
Oh, no.
expensive. Oh my.
He'll say, well, you said it.
We have to pay off number 2. So anyways, and it's much cheaper to buy a medic than it is a station. But that being said, we have those 3 at Central Station down on Cleveland Avenue. Well, when the pandemic hit, everything kind of got delayed, and then there were replacement issues where you couldn't get the vehicles for several years and so on. Well, that's still the case. And the reason why this is coming before you tonight is because right now, it is expected that it's a 36 to 40-month delivery date for a medic that we order today. So that's still 3 to 4 years away if we order it tonight. We have the money in our equipment fund, 222 fund, and tonight I am asking you to consider moving forward with the purchase of a 2026 Ford F-550 4x4 chassis fitted with the Road Rescue Medic module. The estimated cost is not to exceed $340,000. This will replace a truck or a medic that's now 13 or more than 13 years, or will be more than 13 years old at that time. And it basically just gets us in the lineup to be able to take, hopefully, receipt of that truck 3 or 4 years from now.
So that explains why we don't have a purchase
Exactly,
contract at this
exactly.
point.
It is expected that the vendor will be Burgess, which is who we've purchased our
In
other medics
Loudonville.
from in Loudonville in Ashland County. So, yep, I asked the same question, but this is more or less so that we have authorization to move forward to place the order,
Yeah.
knowing the time will come a couple years from now.
Can
Several,
they hold the pricing
yes,
for that long?
that's what we're told, so, and that was part of the reason as well, to lock it in.
Yeah.
So, when it's all said and done, we will not have an additional truck, we will just replace an existing truck. So we will still have 4, and we, as you know, in many instances, when we have these used emergency vehicles, whether it be at the fire department or police department, we will dispose of them through the finance director's office on gov deals, so public auction.
It looked like in the purchase order description for the then and now that we approved this evening, that it was work on one of the medic
Yes,
units.
they take a lot of abuse because they are used all the time, and they're constantly starting and stopping, and like any of our vehicles, that takes its toll. So,
How many do they have now?
4.
And they'll keep 4.
Yes, and 1 is at Station 2, the other 3 are at Central Station. So, we have a very good fleet of vehicles, there's no question. But if we're going to maintain the level of fleet we have, we're gonna have to make these types of decisions, and these are not inexpensive projects.
Sure.
We're still waiting on delivery of our ladder truck, recall?
Seems so long.
that
Yes,
might be a little-
yes, absolutely. So,
All right, if there is no further discussion, we won't hold the mayor to a 3rd fire station. But,
but I think the fire department probably just cheered.
I heard it. Text message.
Applause erupted.
that will take an act of council.
Terry, strike that.
They will keep this recording.
That's right.
But you said.
Yeah. If there is no further discussion, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Ordinance 19-24.
Finally, we have an ordinance approving the Community Reinvestment Area Tax Incentive application for the Pump House Hospitality LLC within the city of Ashland, Ohio.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Well, this is definitely the ordinance
Yeah.
that excites me the most.
Yep.
And that is, it is time now to ask the council to consider moving forward with the next step in turning the Pump House office building at the corner of Fourth and Orange into a hotel. We can now say it is a Hilton product, a Home 2 Suites, and it is expected to be a 94-bedroom or suite hotel. The approximate investment in the facility should be close to $22 million. $21.5 million is what they're forecasting they will spend to renovate the building, and it will be an extensive renovation with an addition to get that number of hotel rooms in that location. They are expecting to have 25 employees, and they are expecting an annual payroll of $1.1 million. Now, here's the fact. The truth is, when the developer first came to town, they were looking to construct a hotel out by Interstate 71. They still have not ruled out that possibility, but in the process of doing their due diligence and looking to what steps would be needed to make that hotel reality out on 71, we proposed to them another possible site. And we showed them the pump house, explained what we envisioned for the pump house district, and as a result, they too see the promise in that location and the value of being in that location, and that's why they're moving forward in that spot. However, they will be the first to tell you that they have never renovated a building for one of their hotels, and they have many hotels in their portfolio. And part of the reason is because the costs of renovating a building, especially an old building, and turning it into the number of rooms they need in order to be profitable as a hotel is extensive. And with that in mind, I can truly tell you that this has been a public-private partnership, assuming that the council will see the importance of moving forward on this, because this has involved not only private dollars from the developer, but also we've introduced them to individuals here in our community that I do believe are also going to play a role in the financing of this project. And that's because I think everyone sees how critical it is to our community and how valuable it is. So with that in mind, we are proposing that the council approve a tax incentive that would be under these terms, 100% tax reduction for 15 years. Now, someone might think that's very aggressive. It is very aggressive. But let me remind you that that building has now sat vacant for almost a decade. And before that, even when it was occupied, we have not collected any taxes on that property for decades. So it literally has generated no tax revenue for us, period. With the city owning that building, and when the county owned that building, it is only costing us tax dollars to maintain it. And if we do not find a developer to renovate that building and turn it into a tax revenue generating property, chances are it will end up our responsibility to remove the building. And if we do remove the building, you know as well as I do, it'll be well over $1 million to abate it and to get rid of that building. So that is why this is such an exciting project, because number one, not only is it saving a major historic building here in our community, because it is indeed the F.E. Myers headquarters, so much a part of our history, also the cornerstone to why we call it the Pump House District, but it'll be a valuable asset for the community. And this is the first step, I would say, in seeing the Pump House District come to reality, because right after this, I expect it won't be long before we're talking here at these meetings about Vision's investment of probably $50+ million in the housing. All that's moving forward as we speak as well. So tonight, I would respectfully ask that you consider approving this. I will say a big thank you to the Ashland City School Board for approving this at their last meeting. You hear me talk a lot about unity and the spirit of unity that's moving our community forward. That was a wonderful, real-life demonstration of taking action in the spirit of let's do what's best to move the community forward. Incidentally, if you haven't had a chance to look at all the terms, the school will receive a direct cash payment. Ashland City Schools will receive an annual direct payment of $20,000, which over the life of the incentive will be about $300,000. And the Career Center will receive $2,000 each year for a total of $30,000 at the end of the term of the agreement that's been placed in front of you. So that's the first time that's also happened here, but that was part of the negotiations, so.
Very good. Any questions, concerns?
We'll keep the acquisition of the building at 400.
Let me see here. That could change.
page 3.
That may change, yes, that may change,
Okay.
yes. And that is an application that they submit to our group and submitted earlier, so those terms could change. When I talk about a public-private partnership, do not be surprised if we come back to you also to talk about sharing some of the cost in the retaining wall that is collapsing there on Church Street. To be quite candid with you, if they don't go forward with their project, then we'll be absorbing all that cost because it threatens to undermine the stability of Church Street. But there'll be other components that we'll no doubt be talking about at these meetings, and one of them will be too, when we finally close on the property and transition ownership to the development group.
I had a reason to be out in that area recently, and I noticed how much that retaining wall is
Oh,
collapsing.
yeah, it's horrible.
Yes.
How soon can that get repaired? Because it could end up being a significant part of Church Street very quickly. If we're gonna
Absolutely.
do something soon.
Well, and I will say publicly here, and I don't know if it'll frighten people or not, but I will tell you that, as we look to the vision, to the future in that area, there is a strong, I'm trying to think of what the right word would be. Church Street eventually could be closed to through traffic. There's a thought of more development coming in that area. Now, that's not to alarm all the property owners there. I think there's 4 apartment houses there. I've talked to some of the owners of those apartments, but if someone's dwelling in those, I'm sure they're not thrilled to hear what I just said, but there's no time frame on that. But there's other factors. And your question was, when will that work begin? I don't know when that work will begin.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone does, quite
It's
candidly.
very rapidly eroding, and so
It is,
it could become a hazard.
yes. You're
Now,
right.
it does say on here that they will start in September.
The project, yes, the
Yes.
hotel renovation would be in September of this year, but the retaining wall, I don't know when that construction is going to take place.
They have full access to the building currently?
Yes, we provide it to
Yeah.
them, but yes,
Okay.
so.
Any other
Well, it's gonna
discussion?
make a nice enhancement to the other development that's across the street. Without that, I mean, that's an eyesore and
Well, and here I'll just tell you, I mean, prior to them agreeing to come here, we worked with a number of the area businesses in the industrial park as well as nearby. And basically, they were willing to commit that they would occupy a certain number of rooms for their out-of-town guests and for trainings they do and so on, the university as well. Because right now, what the university is finding is that whenever they have a major event, parents are predominantly staying in Wayne County, in Worcester. And we want to capture that revenue here. So, and you also have to remember, just because this incentive applies to the property tax, it does not apply to the sales tax, it does not apply to the bed tax, it does not apply to the income
Income
tax.
tax.
So it's not as though there aren't any taxes going to be paid. There will be plenty of taxes paid during that time, but this is basically to help make the numbers work for what they have to put in the facility to make it a viable business. So,
After all, they're assuming the risk.
of $22 million.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I can tell you, that is not what they were thinking they were going to spend when they were going to build a new hotel in the Ashland area. So,
All right.
they also shared with me that it's unique that Hilton was willing to put their stamp on it. Because I think I shared with you probably a year and a half ago, the group of representatives from Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, I believe it was, I'm pretty sure it was Nashville, Tennessee, came up to see the building, and we had to give them a tour and go over all the vision and all that, and they were willing to stamp it, so this is a good situation for all of us.
And from the description of what they're going to put into it, it'll be nice.
Oh,
Very nice.
absolutely.
Yeah, so-
Plus, now you have 94 rooms occupied with guests who hopefully will walk downtown to the restaurants
Bingo.
and businesses, and will bring additional revenue to other entities here in the community. So I appreciate your consideration.
Any further discussion? I think for the benefit of the public, I will read this paragraph out of here that the Pump House Hospitality LLC will renovate and construct a new 68,000 square foot Hilton Hotel consisting of 94 suite-style rooms, a marketplace, communal areas, a fitness center, complimentary breakfast area, conference room, guest laundry for the total investment of almost $22 million. So it will be very, very nice. And we thank them for their consideration of Ashland,
Absolutely.
certainly.
And we do thank the school board.
Amen.
And the
As
Career
well.
Center
Yes.
for their
Yeah.
cooperation on this too.
All right, with that, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
I will so move.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Ordinance 20-24.
Thank you.
Ashland on the rise.
Home two suites are very highly respected across the country
Are they?
by Hilton, yes, and so, for business travel especially.
Good.
All right, we have no resolutions, no public hearing items, no old business or new business unless council has something to bring forward. Our finance director is not here this evening. We'll move right to council comments. Mr. Lawson?
I just want to give a shout out to our sanitation workers. Perhaps people may know or may not know, we took the advantage of cleaning up our yard over the weekend, and if you have a significant number of yard waste bags, you can make arrangements for them to come and pick them up. Yard waste pickup doesn't really start until May, but they will come by appointment and pick them up for you. And so they were scheduled to come and pick mine up today. And I called them this morning and I said, hey, listen, guys, you don't need to come out in this weather with picking up paper bags full of yard waste. And they said, no, go ahead and put it out. We'll come and get it. And they did. And they had a few others that they picked up in the process. But I just want to say, those guys go above and beyond, and I appreciate the work that they do, even coming out in bad weather to get the stuff done.
Great, thank you. Mrs. Woodward?
The Ashland County Solid Waste District is offering a tire voucher for anybody in Ashland County that needs to get rid of old junk tires laying around their property. So my husband took advantage of this today, and we were able to get rid of 4 tires. So you can go to the County Health Department or the Commissioner's Office here in Ashland, get a voucher, and you can take 10 tires. I think they take them at Smeth's Tires and someplace else here in Ashland. Very easy, simple, good way to get them out of your yard,
Definitely.
and it doesn't cost you anything.
great.
So we appreciate them doing that
Certainly.
service. And the Commissioners was also telling me that on May 5th, they're going to be having their annual event at the fairground where they take paints and some of your liquids and stuff as well. So mark your calendars for that as well.
What day?
I think it was May 5th.
May 5th? Okay, at the
Yes.
fairground.
Yes, at
Thank
the fairgrounds.
All right, thank you. Mr. Miller?
Last Saturday, this past weekend, Angela and I and our spouses were invited to attend the Veterans Appreciation Dinner at the Eagles Club. And they pass out a bulletin, with all the names of the veterans, Vietnam veterans in Ashland. It was a very impressive list. And many of them still surviving. And we've had about attendance of about 300, and I guess probably 275 of that was the veterans. So we appreciate their service, and it was a very nice evening. Just a lot of memories. You could tell a lot of stories were swapped, and everybody had a good time. But again, we want to thank all the veterans of any war but particularly Vietnam War, because when they came back from that, they were not treated very well. So it's the least we can do to honor them now, so.
Absolutely, thank you. Mr. Kyle?
Spring cleanup has started, so another reason to thank our sanitation workers. They'll be working overtime for the next month, you know, so take advantage of that. Clean up your properties and take advantage of it, and go to the website and get the rules and wrap what needs wrapped and cut up what needs cut up and
Try to bag what needs bagged.
try to bag what needs bagged. Just, it's such a great service, and communities all around are jealous of that service. And, it's something that, you know,
I'm not so sure a few people from outside of the community are coming in to kind of just leave this here.
yeah, well, yeah, so, but just,
Yes.
you know, it's an exciting time.
And it's perfectly acceptable for those who want to scavenge those piles of large waste to come by and take whatever they'd like ahead of the,
I put lots of good stuff
correct,
out.
Mayor?
Curbside treasure.
Yes, right.
That's right.
Thank you.
And the only thing
Well said.
is, when folks are going through those piles, you need to be careful that you're not scattering them into the street or scattering them into the lawn of the homeowner where they've been placed. And in fact, we are getting calls about individuals ripping open some of those bags, and then everything's blowing everywhere across people's lawns. So be respectful as you are searching for those treasures on people's curbs.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Well, Mayor, I'll turn it over to you.
The only things I want to update you on, and I'm not sure it's that big of an update, because you may already know, the Hessen-Clark site did sell. So I think I spoke about that maybe in my State of the City address, but they did close on it, so it has new ownership. They're based out of Virginia, and they still have purchased it with the intention to develop it into apartments,
All right.
market rate apartments,
Great.
in a multi-story building. So more to come in the future, but it's now in the hands of another entity that wants to develop it into apartments. Also, I wanted to tell you that this is another project that for some watching, they may smirk when they hear this, but it's exciting. We have finalized the plans for the new public restroom in downtown Ashland. So it will have a brick facade. It'll match the brick that's used at Foundation Plaza. It will sit in the back corner of the parking lot next to Foundation Plaza, adjacent to the bank's parking lot and Second Street. And so we're hoping to get that done. My goal that I've set for the crew is that we need to have it done by the car show. So that's probably the first big event downtown, but we're gonna try to move forward as fast as we can. But that'll be a wonderful addition, because we often hear people remark, you need a
Yeah.
restroom.
I've heard that multiple times.
So, right now, the plan is it will have men's and women's restrooms, and each will feature 2 stalls. So a total of 4.
Is it a
Very good.
pre-assembled unit that they
I
just
don't believe
said?
so.
Oh,
no.
okay,
Yep,
stick built,
yep.
okay.
So it'll be quality, because that was the only way we're gonna do it, is if it did not detract from downtown. So I think it'll be a good addition.
And it will be locked at a certain time?
It will follow the same hours as our park restrooms.
Okay.
So I believe they're opened at 7 AM and close at dark or 9 PM probably.
Okay.
Depending, if there's an event, we would leave it open longer, but yes, it will not be open 24 hours.
Very good.
I think it might save some of our live Christmas trees that we station up and down Main Street.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, maybe you're right, I don't know. And
You're out of order, Dan.
our council president asks about any updates about the eclipse. Obviously, you've probably seen on social media or read in the newspapers about some of the activities going on in the city of Ashland. Our friends at Ashland Main Street are planning a weekend of activities. I believe Friday night is the cruise in, and that is when cars will hopefully, if the weather permits, line Main Street. However, they won't line Main Street in the normal way that we do during a car show. They will be parallel parked. So you will still be able to travel up and down Main Street in your own vehicle. We also are going to feature some bands that throughout the weekend. I think you've got the actual flyer. A lot of people are asking, well, what about the day of the event? And the day of the event, we're just encouraging folks to head out to Fairfield, where you will be able to watch the eclipse with all your friends and neighbors in a wide open space with public restrooms nearby, and a sound system that will be blasting what I understand to be an artificial intelligence created playlist of eclipse-related songs.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be incredible, but we'll see.
I think you at least have to say the joke on the bottom.
What is
So
the
it
joke?
says, how do you organize a solar eclipse party? You plant it. Plan it?
Man.
Get it? Plan it?
Ah, yes.
But you missed the
I didn't write it. I
What is
just
the
read it.
biggest?
biggest attraction is the Wienermobile will
Oh,
be down.
Yes.
yes, exactly.
Yes.
How could you miss that?
The traditional.
I've heard of
Eclipse
people very
Wienermobile.
excited, people are very excited about it.
I understand.
They're coming
America
from all
loves
over.
hot dogs.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you, Mayor.
No, thank you.
And with that, we'll move to comments and questions from our audience. If there's anyone here who would like to step up to the podium, state your name, the ward you live in, and address council. Good evening, sir.
I'm David Miller. I'm not sure which ward I live in. I live out in the country.
Oh, okay. Very good.
But I am the co-chair of the Make Ashland Sparkle project. And so following the theme of some of the cleanup here, I'm here to formally announce that we are signing up for projects. You can sign up at Make Ashland Sparkle is happening on April 27th of 2024 from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we're going to meet at Ashland Corner Park for registrations and then send out the teams to the different parks and areas where we're going to be cleaning up. Citizens can sign up at ashlandrotary.net or also at the city website. There's a button to go to the page where you can sign up for the project you want to do. Lunch will be provided, and the rain date, in case we have rain that day, will be May 11th,
April 27th, 9 to noon,
9 to noon. Yes, sir.
and go to the Rotary website to sign up. All
Yes, sir.
right.
Thank you,
Great.
Dave.
I
Yes,
think I
thank
saw it
you.
on the city's Facebook page too.
Yes, what I want to share in that regard, thank you for coming in, and thank you to the Rotary for partnering with the city. If you haven't noticed, the city of Ashland is very clean compared to other places that you might visit throughout your life's activities. And by clean, I mean you don't see trash and debris everywhere. Don't get me wrong, we have litter and we have to clean it up downtown. We have it in some of the interchanges and so on, but not to the extent you see it in a lot of places. And this is one day where if you are seeing, maybe there's an entry into the city that you've noticed out on 42, or you've noticed somewhere in the city where there is trash, maybe a bag got exploded, a garbage bag or something, this is a wonderful day to be supported in your effort to clean that up. And by supported, I mean we'll provide all the materials. We provide everything from the gloves to the bags to the whatever else you might need, or you or your special group or organization you belong to need to clean that up. And I believe last 2 years we've had almost 300 people, I believe, each of those years. So,
But do come prepared to work.
but have fun doing so. Yep.
We're hoping for the same amount of people this year.
Yes. Yeah, and we just don't do litter pickup, but that's an important one, yes.
Yeah, as I recall, when you register, you can select what activity you'd like
Yes.
to do, whether it's spreading mulch or picking up trash or painting hydrants or something
Yes.
like that, so.
Trash cans this year.
Trash cans this year? Good.
Yep,
All right.
good.
All right, thank you, Mayor. With that, then, if there's nothing else, we'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle. Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Yep.